Hello, I just want to make a quick video for my own notes really, but I just saw this TED Talk which is really typical of most academics who do work on the left side of the spectrum and come to ridiculous conclusions. Basically this guy, his name is Simon Anholt, he talks about which country does the most good. And so he talks about, a country, when you include everything, which one would you be happiest is in the world and is helping people the most. Now, he slips this in kind of right before he gives his final results, but he's dividing it by GDP. He says so, which means that smaller countries have a much easier time of making his list. Because if they give $10 away, then that looks much bigger as a percent of GDP. While if a large country like China or the US gives much more money to helping people, then it doesn't count nearly as much. Now, the reason this is important is because does $10 from one person help AIDS in Africa more than, $1 billion from 300 million people? Each person is giving less for sure, only 1/3 as much actually in the US example, because there's so many people. But $1 billion is going to help a lot more people in Africa with AIDS than just $10 that some random Samaritan gives. And so it's not really a good way to look at the situation, because if you're looking at how many people are actually helped, it's obviously the larger total amount of resources that get donated that's going to help more. Additionally, he never goes over exactly all of the factors that go into this number, but I'm sure he doesn't go over things like the geopolitics of the situation. For example, since the United States has taken over the hegemonic role of the world, wars have become actually much less frequent and much smaller. Even during World War I, the German High Command was planning World War II. During World War II, there were many people who thought this would just be a new normal. We would just, every generation, go on these huge, gigantic, massively destructive wars. Every generation, tens of millions of people were going to die, and America put a stop to that. We took away everyone's army, and instead, we told everyone we would provide safety for the entire world. As long as they didn't have an army, as long as they gave up their foreign policy to the US, then we would protect them and we would protect everyone. And this is a system that's largely worked out. I mean, we spend a ton of money on our military, and America is actually one of the least vulnerable countries in the world. Most countries aren't going to invade the US because of our oceans, because of our large landmass, because our civilian population is already armed to the teeth. It's just not a very good plan to attack the United States. Whereas Europe or Japan or India or something, Pakistan, there are huge fault lines here where real military conflict could occur, and largely hasn't, because the U.S. has given up so much of its own resources and its own people. Anyways, I'm sure these numbers don't get counted correctly. I'm sure he doesn't think, well, Sweden's only able to donate so much or do so much for society because of the military and economic stability that the U.S. provides. And you just have to look into this stuff for yourself. This is a typical example of leaving stuff out that doesn't fit your worldview and putting stuff in that does. Anyways, I hope everyone here has a wonderful day, and if you like my videos, I'm planning to upload them semi-regularly just for myself. But if you like them, feel free to subscribe, leave me some comments, I always read them. Have a wonderful day. Bye.